What is going on, guys? It's your favorite anime protagonist, ItzJoshNv. Today we are going to be checking out something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be checking out 86 reviewing details you missed from the anime part 1. This video is by ctrlaltQQ, funny name, and basically it looks like he's going to go in depth with things that you probably missed, things that went over your head, because trust me, even though I've seen a lot of things, I haven't, it's the little stuff that gets you. It's the little stuff that I definitely know I missed. Before we get into this video, I've noticed that a lot of you guys have been enjoying watching my videos or somewhat interested in watching, especially when it comes to anime and all that. Only 20% of you guys are subscribed, and about 80% of you guys who are enjoying my videos are not subscribed. Do me a favor, if you like my reactions to anime, if you like me just in general, if you like what I do, and just to show your support, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps me out. It encourages me to do more. But with that being said, I don't want to make this too long. The video is already long enough. Let's get into it.
Warning, the following video contains heavy spoilers. 86 is a fantastic show that drops a variety of subtle hints throughout the story.
It sure
there are
is!
numerous subplots that you, the viewer, might not catch if you did not pause frame by frame.
Right.
In this video, we will be exploring some of the themes, symbolism, motifs, and world building you might have missed. In the first episode, we see a blackboard where Kujo wrote there are only 129 days left until end of service.
Right.
As Reddit user Pedot has documented, it took exactly 129 days to depart for their final recon mission. Our Spearhead Squadron knew full ahead of time when they were going to depart for their final destination. Names and the importance of names is a recurring theme. Before Lena became the handler of Spearhead, she was first seen as a handler of a different squad. You can see most of the individuals without an alias. This is because most 86 members die within their first year of service, according to the novel author, Asato. Those who last more than a year are then recognized with a name of their choice.
Oh, wow.
It goes to show how much more meaningful it is to have a group who are all on their 4th year of service.
Right.
They are the cream of the crop, the best of the best. In other words, they needed to be dealt with. Have you ever wondered why there was a slogan, "Welcome to the base closest to heaven"? On my first watch, it didn't register.
Right.
Once it was revealed that the Spearhead Squad is the equivalent of the Suicide Squad, it all made sense. To make things worse, the mannequin's neck is another form of foreshadowing.
Right.
On the topic of names, I can't come up with a more perfect name than 86. On the surface level, 86 simply referred to the people who live outside of District 85. However, if you check Wikipedia, 86 has another disturbing meaning. It generally means to get rid of someone or something. In 1970, it also meant to kill or execute.
What?
Let's
That's
talk
real?
about the name of our heroine, Vladilina Milize. I'm going to call her Lena.
But her name is Lena!
Is it though? Not according to Dr. Google.
Vladilina.
Lena. I call her Lena too.
Lena.
According to NameDoctor.com, her first name is the female equivalent of Vladimir,
Right.
which means to rule or govern with greatness and peace. I couldn't find the meaning of Milize, so comment down below if you know what it means. In episode 2, the title and name of the squad is Spearhead,
Right?
named after the tip of the spear, which means they're the vanguard and usually the first to engage into battle and therefore the first to die. When maintaining a spear, the tip should get the most attention. Since the Spearhead Squad never gets any replacements,
Right.
it means the Republic has no intention of maintaining their Spearhead. They are giving it a quick maintenance every now and then, but their plan is just to replace the Spearhead every time it gets damaged to the point it becomes inoperable.
Okay.
It is also possible to break the Spearhead if it's stuck inside an enemy. It's painful for the enemy to remove the Spearhead, while you can easily attach a new Spearhead to the shaft as a replacement. The final recon mission is just that. Give the kids enough ammo and fuel to do maximum damage, and then replace the Spearhead with a new one.
Facts. I think
A
everybody
small
could
but powerful
put that
detail was
two together.
teased by Asato on Twitter. She was referring to the book Shin was reading at the time, All Quiet on the Western Front. Although I haven't read the novel, the synopsis of the story is about how soldiers' lives are thrown away by their commanding officers who are stationed comfortably away from the front, ignorant
Facts.
of the daily terrors on the front line.
Facts.
By witnessing the atrocities of war, these young soldiers lose their innocence and are regularly reminded of death. In addition, the massive loss of life and minimal gains from the fighting are constantly emphasized. Does this sound familiar? Young children forced to throw their lives away, while the Alba are throwing parties
It's just like
safely
86.
within their
It's
walls.
the same crap over and over again.
As for Kaie's death flag, it was briefly foreshadowed when she was playing a card game with Haruto. She was left with the Joker card with a Grim Reaper on it. Episode 4 continues to reinforce the dire situation the 86 are put in. They are forced to defend the Republic while not even being acknowledged as human beings. When Lena goes to visit the war memorial, we see her walk past a bunch of empty memorial walls. In fact, the very last casualty the Alba suffered was none other than Lena's father, Vasclav Lise. Let's talk about Lena's best friend,
that's a good
Annette.
catch. I
There's a
didn't even
recurring
notice that. That's
subplot
crazy.
About how all of her suitors are out of her age group. In episode 5, we see all of her suitors on full display.
Right.
When asked about why she put them up, she mentions her coworkers did it as a joke.
Right.
In the next episode, literally Santa Claus applies to be her husband. When Lena comments on the age of her suitors, Annette has a painful expression but brushes it off.
You're right.
It's later revealed that Annette was bullied in school for being friends with an 86.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
connect the
right.
dots. What if the bullying never stopped? What if the reason why no one in her age group wants to date her is because they remember she was friends with an 86? Only those who are young enough to not know her history and those who are old and desperate are thirsty for her. Annette is trapped in a society where she's all alone.
that
Let's
answers
talk
my
about
question.
world
What I
building.
asked
Food
during
is
the
a recurring
reaction. That's
theme in
crazy.
86.
That's crazy.
It was mentioned multiple times how the Alba are eating artificial, processed food.
Right.
Lena goes absolutely bonkers for some real ingredients. Do you recall the scarcity of food in Attack on Titan?
Right.
Land is limited within the walls of the Republic. As a result, processed food has become the norm due to lack of farmland and no imported goods.
Oh, right.
But did you notice how well the 86 were eating?
Wait.
It was as if a cook out of Shogekeki no Soma was doing a cook-off and the 86 were being served. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, but the details are definitely there.
Yeah.
I mean, who puts this much effort into
Exactly.
making food
I didn't even
this
really pay
good
attention
in
to
a
that.
non-cooking show? You see, the 86 were both hunting and gathering for their own food out in the open. The Alba would never serve meat
Facts.
in luxury to those who they deemed as inferior. Their food is so bad, it got rejected by our robot dog. You know that real fruit that Lena is craving? Our lads have those on a regular basis. It's a small W, however small that may be.
Man.
A1's adaptation has a strong sense of cinematography, and episode 7 packs a ton of it. Shine Nozen, The Undertaker, the Shinigami. Here we see another scene where our protagonist with the burden of shooting one of his fallen comrades. The picture here is brief, but if you pause the frame, you can see a very powerful allegory. Do you see it? How about now?
Oh,
Shin
what the
is a
heck?
representation of the Angel of Death. His mission is not only sending off the souls of his fallen
Yeah,
comrades, but
that
also
would've
the
been
ones
way hard
trapped
to catch.
inside the Legion.
No normal person would have
I
caught
really
that.
like the scene. In this frame, beautifully shot from a low-angle point of view, demonstrates metaphorically how powerful Raiden is as he delivers his speech. Although it appears that he is imprisoned by this cruel, unjust world, represented by these concrete walls, he has chosen to step out of it. In other words, Raiden and the others have chosen their own path to be free. All of them filled with determination. As the speech ends, the pale moonlight slowly reappears.
Right.
In an unexpected shower scene, some traumatic revelations about
Oh.
Anju are revealed. Many have speculated about why she has silver hair, but still lives in District 86.
Right.
If you looked very carefully,
Yep.
you can make out the following letters on her back. Ors aw, chores laughter, hors the.
Oh, come
Yep.
on!
It's heart-wrenching to learn Anju was subjected to such
See, I caught
abuse
that.
because she was a half-blood.
Wow.
She was rejected by both sides.
Oh man,
You can
that's
see the
that's so
extent of
messed
her
up.
efforts to hide her secret back in episode 3. She was the only one to keep her jacket on. In episode 8, we are showcased the brilliant use of color to set the mood for each scene. There has been a recurring theme with dark and blue hues
Yeah.
associated with the 86. The scenes at night stand for hopelessness and elicits a negative emotion. In contrast, the Republic is usually basked in light, which represents hope and elicits a positive emotion.
Right.
In the first half of the season, Lena was upbeat and cheerful, represented by her brightly lit room. As the story progresses, the room becomes darker,
Darker,
which
yep.
is also a metaphor for her once cheerful optimism slowly burning out. As her mental state shifts, the light escapes the room. In fact, the only source of light is placed where she's communicating with the 86.
Yep.
We start off with Rain, a sense of despair carried over from Lena's scene. But there is a tone shift back at the barracks. It's uplifting, and a change in setting reflects it.
Right.
The rain eventually stops, a sign of good omen. As the team sets off for their final destination, you feel a strong sense of hope and determination as Hands Up in the Sky plays in the background. Episode 9 is action-packed, so there's not a lot to say about this symbolism. At the end of the episode, we have a scene with a field of red spider lilies. It is the name of the withering flower in the opening sequence. Often found near graves, it is regularly used in funerals in Japan. The red spider lily contains poison in its bulbs, flowers, and leaves. If you eat it, you may get diarrhea, vomiting, or in the worst case scenario, it can be fatal. For those reasons, the red spider lily is often associated with death, reincarnation, and final goodbyes. The scarlet flower is a perfect send-off for this episode as Shin says farewell to both his brother and Lena.
Right.
ZX Kadaru wrote an impressive essay on the concept of paradise and how the first half of episode 10 drew parallelism to the Garden of Eden. You can find the link in the description below. Now, onto the heaviest part. Like many of you, this episode hit different. My life flashed before my eyes is a common expression used to describe the widely reported phenomenon when a person recalls a rapid, detailed flashback of their life in chronological order. Scientists believe that you have 7 minutes of brain activity left after you die, which is also the length of Fido's flashback. But what is Fido? We learned that Fido met Shin 4 years ago and basically watched him grow up.
Yeah,
there were bits and pieces in the story that showed us Fido was not simply a machine. Fido understood how each individual felt. He celebrated with his robotic arms in joy. He trembled in fear when Shin was being scolded. He understood that the food was terrible.
Yeah, he was human.
He found a boiler so his friends can bathe. It's not far-fetched to say Fido showed more emotions than the Undertaker. In a way, he shared responsibility with Shin in carrying everyone's memories. Fido provided both combat and emotional support. This is why it hit so hard when Fido went down.
Yeah.
In the final key moments, we can see on the top left, Fido's power supply was running critically low.
Right.
In this scene, Shin takes a piece of Fido like he does with the other fallen juggernauts and thanks him for all they've been through. Shin knew they were going to have to leave him behind because they had no way of recharging him. So once again, what is Fido? In the second to last memory, we see a glimpse of Shin, Rei, and Annette in a picture dated 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We were given multiple clues back in episode 8 that the Nozen family owned a pet dog. Let that sink in. Could Fido be Shin's pet dog from years ago?
What?
This entire segment is anime original content, and I commend the adaptation for bringing so much depth and characterization into a side character we hardly knew.
Dude. Dude, I knew Fido was,
Throughout the season, there has been a number of stylistic imagery of separation between head and body. You have to admire what they did with the subtle cuts. The headless motif is a frightening element of the plot. What are they trying to say? Is it foreshadowing for what's to come? The finale of season 1 is full of mystery and I have no idea what to make of it. We are shown some strange flashbacks and yelling from some unknown simp, vowing to protect the princess. I'll take a guess that the Legion is now led by this guy, who appears to be a remnant of the invading empire. But no spoilers, please. In the post-credit scene, we have finally come full circle with the headless imagery. But there is one glimmer of hope, and you can find it on the 86 website. You see, all season long, the official website has been updating who has been destroyed after each episode. The confusing part is that in episode 10, Shorei was still marked as alive, but in episode 11, he is now destroyed. The rest of the cast remains alive? Even though they were shown to be knocked unconscious, we didn't get any confirmation of their demise.
Okay.
In case you didn't notice, there are several parts of the opening sequence that changes throughout the series.
Oh! Yeah! So is it each time someone dies, they get added to the right side? Yeah. Is that supposed to be corresponded to like heaven or something? Which would make sense because the red flowers. Man, that was
If you made it this far, I wanna
good.
thank-
So obviously, if you already know, I've already watched all of 86. So I'm kind of already ahead of this on what happened in the video. But there's a lot that I still learned in here. But 86 was just different. They put in some work in that. I can't even lie to y'all. And shout out to ctrlaltQQ, because you did an amazing job covering through this. And he just kept going with it. There was no stops. But you did a real good job. Like, wow. I'm definitely going to rewatch this video by myself so I can really process 100% what I just seen. ctrlaltQQ also made a part 2, so I probably will be reacting to that tomorrow. But with that being said, it's your favorite anime protagonist, ItzJoshNv, signing off.